Imagine the scene. You've hiked for miles to a perfect dark sky location. You set up your camera, and the shot you take just doesn't capture the magic you see with your own eyes. It's a common frustration. You see these incredible photos of the Milky Way online, filled with color and detail, and you wonder what secret you're missing. Capturing a great shot of the Milky Way is no easy task, but the good news is that you're probably very close to getting it right. So, why does this happen? Well, it's simple, really. Your camera's built in light meter is designed for daytime scenes. When it sees a dark landscape, the trees, the mountains, it thinks the entire image needs to be much, much brighter. If you trust its judgment, it will often suggest an exposure that's far too long, letting in so much light that the bright core of the Milky Way turns into a clipped white patch with no detail. The solution is to ignore what your camera thinks is the right exposure and take full manual control. This brings us to the most important principle of digital night sky photography. Protect your highlights at all costs. You can almost always bring out detail in a dark foreground later in software, but you can never recover detail from a completely white, overexposed sky. Once that data is clipped, it's gone forever. The secret isn't some hidden button. It's a method that's unlocked by using manual mode. And one critical tool, your camera's histogram. All right, let's put this into practice. Step 1. Achieve pinpoint focus first. Get your camera on a sturdy tripod with a wide-angle lens. When photographing the night sky, you always want to focus manually. Don't forget to switch your lens to manual focus, not just the camera menu. Now, turn on your camera's live view and find the brightest star or planet you can. Digitally zoom in on it as much as you can, then carefully turn your focus ring until that star is as small and sharp as a pinprick. Years ago, I thought you could just turn the ring to infinity, but that won't even get you in the ballpark. That last little bit of adjustment is extremely sensitive, so take your time. Step 2. Set your aperture and shutter speed. Now for the settings. We're in full manual mode. First, set your aperture as wide as it can go. Something like f2.8 or lower is ideal. This allows the maximum amount of light to enter the camera. Next, we set the shutter speed. Now, you can't just leave it open for 30 seconds or more. After a certain point, because of the Earth's rotation, the stars will start to look like tiny streaks instead of pinpoints. To ensure sharp stars, I never exceed 15 or 20 seconds of exposure with a wide-angle lens. This is a good, safe starting point that avoids star trails. Step 3. Dial in exposure with ISO and the histogram. With our aperture and shutter speed locked in, ISO is the last setting we use to get the exposure right. Let's start at a baseline of ISO 1600 or 3200. Today's digital cameras handle this well. Now, take a test shot. This is where we look at our most important tool, the histogram. That little graph is your truth teller. If you see a big spike slammed up against the right-hand wall, you've clipped your highlights. Your camera might even show you blinkies where those overexposed areas flash. If this happens, you need to lower your ISO. But the goal isn't to have a dark image. The goal is to get the main hump of data on your histogram as far to the right as you can without it touching the edge. This technique is often called shooting to the right, and it ensures you capture the most possible light and color data without losing any information in the highlights. You adjust your ISO up or down until that histogram is in the sweet spot, just away from that right edge. Now, when you look at the image on your camera screen, the foreground will likely be in deep shadow, but the sky should look good. You should be able to see faint colors and details in the Milky Way. And here's where the magic begins. Because you shot in RAW format and protected those highlights, you have all the data you need. In a program like Lightroom or Photoshop, you can add an adjustment layer. The first step is to simply bring up the shadows slider. Just like that, the hidden detail in the foreground is revealed. Now, it's true that lifting shadows can introduce some noise, which is why capturing as much light as you can in camera is so important. But it is far easier to manage some noise in the shadows than it is to try and fix a blown out sky, which is impossible. The data is always there. You just have to know how to collect it. If you want to take your photography to the next level, with more details for specific situations, my book Photography Pocket Guide is a great resource. You may also be interested in my other core books on Amazon, especially the 2026 updated version of my best-selling book, Mastering Aperture, Shutter Speed, ISO, and Exposure. For more details about my books, check out my website. A link is in the description. So, to stop overexposing your night skies, the secret is to take full manual control. Use your histogram to expose as brightly as you can without clipping the highlights. Always remember, you can bring back the shadows, but you can never get back a blown out highlight. Even the most complex topics seem simple once you understand the secrets. Now get out there and capture the night sky as you were always meant to. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's keep it simple.